Welcome to another edition of Nights Around the Fire. I'm David Tomsick. I'm glad you can join me and Sue today for part 2 with our paranormal investigator, Ken Smith. Last time he showed us the tools he uses for his investigation. Today, on part 2, he's going to share his experience at the Carnegie Library and Music Hall in Carnegie, PA. It's a very haunted place, and he has a lot to say about it. I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you at the end. We're back, and we're going to be talking to Ken about some of his experiences. So Sue, what do you have for him?
So, Ken, one of the places that comes up in our area that seems to be notorious for haunts is the Carnegie Library.
Of course, I got stories of a lot of places, but Carnegie Library, yes. Okay, this goes back a while ago when we were doing our little company thing and when we were getting started. My mentor, my friend, the guy who taught me a lot of stuff, said, hey, we're going to go do a library next. Okay. We went to this Carnegie Library in Carnegie, and there we met Mrs. Lynn Cochran. She worked at the library at the time, and apparently she got us in there. We got the run of the place many nights, and naturally we were doing our best to record any type of activity that we stumbled across or that we witnessed, and sure enough we did. Enough to get us on TV. We were on a TV show called My Ghost Story, and not only doing the actual investigating, the reading, the studying, the buying all the tools, all that stuff, getting out and getting your style. Learning how a TV show is made is really, really cool. We spent all day with Steve, and TJ, my buddy, submitted his request to Hollywood, and they liked it. They sent them out to California for a few hours and interviewed Lynn and my friend. They came back, and Steve had every single thing on his laptop, and we went through every single thing we talked about. And it turned out they even bought us dinner. It was cool. My Ghost Story bought us dinner. So I had a chance to talk to the cameraman while we were eating. He sat right beside me. And you're going to have to get to know me a little bit, but I'm a people person, and I go, dude, you got to tell me the truth. Have you been scared? Has stuff scared you? And Steve told me a couple really crazy stories. And I know they're true. I have no reason not to believe this guy. And it was just, hey, that's why I do this. It's like amazing. People don't get hurt. It's just a different way of thinking of things. So anyway, the last podcast we did not prepare. Dave says, hey man, we'll just talk, tell us stories. So, okay. And then on this trip here, we wanted to do the equipment. And I brought a story or two, but I'm going to give you one. And it is the Carnegie Library. For years, they've been seeing ghosts there. And Lynn and Bill tell me that when you're in the music hall, he's up to the left. Okay, it's something we got to check into. Okay. The last time, like I said, we did not prepare. This time I came prepared. I got the actual handwritten notes of the Carnegie Library. In the downstairs dressing room, we were walking to that, down the hallways and around the bend, this ungodly scream. It was just a woman screaming out of nowhere, and nobody else was in the building except a handful of us. It was like unbelievable. It made the hair stand up on you, just out of nowhere, just a scream. We had one person downstairs. Keep in mind, it was like a locker room covered with mirrors. All the walls had mirrors, so we think, paranormal people, that's portals, okay? It's an easy way, it's a doorway for a ghost to come in and out, you know, of this world and go back to his world and comes back to our world. We were doing a thing upstairs, and we were in a big table by the library, and we were sitting around in the dark, and this lady said, hey Ken, something's touching my hand. Okay. So I got one of my thermometers, and I went over and I checked, and it was like 6 degrees colder. And I'm like, okay, it's probably a little kid because we're sitting in the little kids area and we're in little tiny chairs. Okay, that's cool. Don't be afraid. Tell her thank you. And then that feeling went away. And about 10 minutes later, I said, hey, let's call that little, see if that little kid wants to come and hold your hand again. Sure enough, she goes, Ken, my hand's cold again. And I'm like, there you go. She came. She really likes you. What they do, they choose to manifest by taking the heat out of your hand, and that's why your hand's cold. There's no heat in it. So that's how they manifest. So that lady was getting that. Then we took a break. We went down to another part of the building. And that same lady said, hey. And we're like, what? My cross is gone. She had a crucifix on a chain around her neck. She goes, this is important. I got to find this. My mom gave it sentimental value and stuff like that. So me and the other investigator, we walked our exact tracks back, and we didn't find it, anyway in the hallway. We didn't know if it just fell off by accident or whatever. There's no marks around her neck like it had been yanked off. It was on the floor under her desk. How it got there, we don't know. Because it was like almost like a choker. She would have had to undone it, put it back together, and threw it off. But we have her on film. We were sitting right beside her. Something took that cross off of her and put it on the ground. You decide. We don't know. I'm thinking paranormal. To be 100% honest with you. No more. We try to debunk everything as good as we can. So that's that. There's two more. I'm going to put it in order. In the little kids area, I was just explaining this to Susan. Dave was busy setting up. They have a little sandbox there. It's one of those green turtles, about 4 foot across. And in this case, it wasn't filled with sand. They're in a library. It's filled with books. So we wanted to set up some trigger objects. So this is perfect. I'm gonna grab a couple books. They're like a Dr. Seuss book. You pull it out, open it up, pull another one out, open it up. And then we put some little balls, we marked like ping pong balls. And we put some Hot Wheels cars, some beads and little bracelets I had. And we marked everything. And we put a camera on it. And I invited the kids, hey you guys, we're gonna go to different parts of your home, the library here, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna investigate, and then we're gonna come back. So, what you guys can do, you guys can read these books. And you guys can, I brought you cars. Girls, if you wanna play makeup, there's beads and bracelets for you. Have fun while we're gone. So we went and did that, and we returned like later on in the end of the night. And upon arrival, nothing was touched. It was still on page 23. The other book was still untouched. The cars, the ball, nothing had been moved. So I got a little bit testy, which we never do. Keep in mind, I'm talking to kids. I think there's ghosts there. That's the way we think. There's a bunch of little ghost kids. I cannot believe you guys. I brought all this stuff for you to play with, and you didn't touch a darn thing. Come on. Well, I'm putting the book back, and I threw the book back. And then we cleaned up, and we left. Got the rest of our stuff. I don't know if that was the end of the night, but that was the end of us for right there, Got the camera tied up and got all our stuff, and then we went to a different part of the library. And then we continued our investigation, and then more crazy stuff happened. Not like the scream or anything, or the lady's crucifix getting ripped off. I was told about, Lynn and Bill told us about the ghosts that people were seeing. And a couple times they called the police, and the police examined, checked out the whole entire building. Time after time, they can't find anything. They don't know. And a couple times, fresh fallen snow, there was no footprints around the library at all. So they came up empty-handed. But people keep seeing this. So we were generating enough activity with ourselves and the ghost stories and this place is haunted. We had one night we were offered a bunch of reporters to join us. We had reporters for the news, the TV stations, radio stations, and come on, you're going to investigate with us. First place with most common sense is let's go to this auditorium where this ghost keeps being seen. So they even identified, they had a long coat on, he had a hat on, and he's always in the up from the stage area looking out. He's always to the top left. Now, this auditorium has balconies that wraps around. So there's a balcony up there, and there's two up here. I'm there, and I'm talking. My fellow investigator is up in the balcony straight up that way. I can see him, he sees me, and he's watching up there and he's looking down, and I'm looking out and looking up. And all the people were over, the reporters were over there. And we're going through them, explaining how things work, just like almost what we did today, but not in depth. You know, here's what a K2 does, here's how we do this. So it started getting quiet. And I'm thinking, you know what? I hope something happens. We got all these people here and it's quiet. And ghost hunters don't like that. Paranormal investigators, they like activity. They like stuff lighting up. They like, seeing things. And nothing was happening. So after a while, I'm like, I don't know what to do. Tell them, hey, we're done. Nothing happened. Sorry. So I yelled up to my buddy, hey, something we never do. We never use provocation. We don't provoke. Why? Dark spirit? I don't need that. I want happy ones. I want polite ones. Don't worry, I'm not going to hit you. I'm good with my hand. So anyway, he goes, yeah, go ahead. He was feeling the same. We tried to make something happen. So I did. I got loud. That's easy for me to do. I got loud, and I didn't swear or do anything like really bad. But I'm like, hey, we're here. How come you show yourself to everybody else, but how come you're not showing yourself to us? Come on. We came. All these people are interested. Don't be shy. I think you're being a coward. I'm yelling at it. You're a coward. You're a sissy. You're a punk. You do all that. You scare all these people, but then when a bunch of men come, you're not doing anything. So it's the feeling. I try to let them have some energy. So, I'm like, I don't know what else to do, guys. I don't know what's happening. Then before I had a chance to think, I'm like looking around, looking up at my buddy up there. I see this massive, big black mass, like a big shadow. And it was in the upper right-hand balcony. I'm like, okay, and this is all an estimate, 10 foot high, 10 foot wide. And it was stationary, but it was moving, like churning water, like boiling water, but it was black. It's all dark, and with little white caps. That's the first thing I thought of. And then before I could think anything, it took off down the wall. And I start yelling at my buddy, hey, here comes a shadow. Look, there's a shadow coming right at you. And I thought it was going to go straight through the wall. It was going so fast. It went, whoom. It didn't. It got to the end of the wall, and it made, in my case, it made the left turn, and it started going right for my buddy. I'm still screaming. He gets up and starts running this way. This is what happened. He ran right through it. I'm like, I cannot believe, is it on tape? No. Is it on video? No. I don't have any of this. It's in here. So when things calmed down, I'm like, hey, did you see it? He said, well, I said, what was it? He said, I don't know. He said, but when I was running, he ran through it. It was a big gust of wind, and it was cold. And that is the story. That's like the biggest story of, it's like one of the biggest things I've seen in my life. So big, so fast. It didn't hurt anybody. But that is what I witnessed at Carnegie Library in Carnegie, PA. And it's going to stay with me till the day I die. Was I afraid? No. Was I excited? Heck yeah. I was excited, but I didn't feel threatened. I didn't feel any danger in anything. It was just something I saw, and I was sort of glad it happened. But then there's always regrets. You know, I had the news media, radio and television. You know, they didn't get a chance to see what I saw. I didn't have cameras because I didn't know anything was going to happen. That's why my buddy was up there. If there was something, if the ghost would have came in the corner, he'd have got it on video. But none of that happened. The spirit just turned everything in a way that we weren't ready for. But yeah, it's going to stay with me. That's what happened there.
So Ken, do you think if people go out and become paranormal investigators, what are the chances of them actually succeeding early on?
You can never tell. You can never, ever tell. Something can happen when you're least expecting it. Something happens when you have all this equipment. Something can happen when you don't have any equipment. Something can happen any time of the day or night. You just can't tell. But I will tell you one thing. Almost everybody I talk to has a ghost story. Almost everybody I talk to has a ghost story. And I lived in a haunted house. Oh, I heard about, this stuff used to happen at us. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that have stuff, and of course, a lot of people are afraid to talk about it. Okay, they think somebody's going to think you're wacky or whatever. But that's fine. Everybody's entitled to what they believe. But when you've done it and seen as much as we have, and when you realize how many people got that little wonder in their head, I wonder, did I just see that out of the corner of my eye? What happened there? Why did that happen? Somebody's always seeing or hearing or noticing something, and that's a fact. Plain and simple. A lot of you probably have things that are questionable, and none of us know exactly what's going on. We'll probably know when we die and we get all the answers to everything. But as of right now, like I said before, I told you guys before, nobody knows what the hell's going on. But something is. Totally something is. I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be here. I have folders. Full of notes of stuff that happened. I got so much stories. It's like, thank God I was, alert enough to write stuff down so I don't forget it. Waverly Hills, New Hampshire, North Carolina, the belt hoop at Conneaut I told you about. I freaking pulled my belt hoop. Broughton School, you guys heard about that. Carnegie Library, Nemacolin, other stuff I've seen. And then here's one. I think I'm going to save this maybe for the next one. But this was Madison Seminary. I got a pretty wild. I don't mean to tease you, but I want to keep this exciting. We're going to keep this. I don't want you getting bored, so I'm going to hold off on some of the choice picks. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe. These guys are a great bunch of guys. We have fun doing this. We all are interested. We all want to learn. And that's one of the reasons I keep doing it, because stuff keeps happening.
Well, I appreciate you sharing with us again, Ken. This is another interesting day for us. We love hearing these stories, and of course, we're going to get more into them as we move forward. Ken has plenty. If you saw the notes he takes, he has notes on every place he's been. We're going to continue to go. Of course, we're going to hit Greene County, and we do know that there's a lot of strange things that occur there. And listen, if you enjoy Ken, we have done the bookstore video here. It's on our YouTube channel, Haunted Bookstore. Take a look at that. Also, of course, Ken did his 3 most haunted spots in Pittsburgh area. That's a big one. If you haven't seen it yet, or even if you have, go back and rewatch it. You'll get more acquainted to Ken and his style of paranormal investigation. So We have plenty of stuff here for you, so please, if you enjoy the content, if you think it's value to you and you enjoy hearing stories from Ken and others, please make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share the video with people you might think like this type of content. And again, keep an eye on our channel. If you hit that bell icon, it'll get you notified when we've released a new video, and we're kind of putting them out here faster than I can edit them, but that's okay. We have a lot of great content.
It's a good problem to have.
It is. So again, Ken, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're quite welcome. Quite welcome.
We'll be talking to you soon, and we'll begin together for some investigations. I think we just did another Cannonsburg goat investigation here with a person whose shop is haunted.
Cannonsburg Collective.
Cannonsburg Collective. Megan, that's releasing actually tonight. For those of you who see this later,
you can get one of these fabulous sweatshirts down there.
Yes, they have a lot of nice stuff. We're going to be hitting that up as well, I think, Ken. Checking that out.
Yeah.
And she's had a little bit of evidence, and we placed that on the video. So keep an eye out for everything. We cover every aspect of the paranormal. We love mysteries, legends, and myths, which I think is an exciting field to be occupied in. So again, make sure you take a look at our next video. And Sue, anything else?
No. Thanks for being here today, guys. We're glad to have you.
And we appreciate you, Ken. We do appreciate the time you took. Again, we'll see you next time right here on Canonsburg's #1 paranormal podcast, Nights Around the Fire.